Chris from ChristopherHole.com. Thanks for coming to watch this video where we're going to be looking at fitness and injury risk, or fitness versus injury risk. Now, it's quite a common thing to think that a fit person, they're invincible. They don't get injured, they don't get ill, so on and so forth. They are like this invincible person that physically is just doing everything right and has got everything right. But when we look a little bit deeper, what we tend to find is that fit people can be at as much risk of injury as unfit people. So if we look at the diagram here, what we've got is sort of three, parts to it, I guess. The first part is this fitness level bit. So we've got people with high fitness level, and then we've got people with low fitness level down here. Now, the next section of the diagram is about injury risk. Now, what this is saying is that people with a higher fitness level have a higher risk of injury, and also people with a lower fitness level have a higher risk of injury. Now, what that means is when we look at sports people, for instance, they exercise a lot. They play their sport, they're training 6-7 days a week sometimes. For some sports, it might even be 2 to 3 times a day throughout the day that they're exercising or working out. Now, they are on the cusp of injury. There are many athletes that I've spoken to and work with where they are literally on the border of being injured. And it's very common to find that people who aren't fit, they're at a high risk of injury because their body just isn't conditioned to be able to cope with, well, to some degree, life and what it puts in front of them, lifting things up, repetitive postures at work, or whatever it might be, static postures at work. So all of that creates an environment for an injury to happen. So not doing anything with your body and it becoming deconditioned increases risk of injury, but putting so much stress on the body can also increase risk of injury. So what we want to be able to do is try and optimize the two. Now, we've got a few ways of doing that. We can maintain high fitness levels, but that just needs to be coupled with adequate recovery. Or with people with low fitness, obviously their solution is to increase fitness, but also increase what they're doing with regards to recovery. Or we can balance the two out. We can bring down the fitness level, or the amount of exercise that someone's doing, to match the recovery that they're doing already, because they might be doing plenty of fitness with some recovery but not enough. So we can either bring that down and build the recovery up, or we can keep that up and build the recovery all the way up. Now, again, that's not going to eliminate it, because anyone at any stage is always at a risk of an injury, but we can hedge our bets, minimize risk, and sort of work with the percentages, if you can understand that. So that's kind of that little model that hopefully will explain that. So don't think that just because you're being fit, or these people are really fit, that they're any more susceptible to injury than a deconditioned person, because it's just a different set of rules. It's the same game with a slightly different set of rules. So hopefully that's been helpful. Hopefully it's been useful, and you can apply that to yourself and maybe the people that are around you. So many thanks for watching. My name's Chris from ChristopherHole.com. I'll speak to you in a future video.